It is your favorite social media influencer turned professional wrestler, Forever Young, and you are watching Rasslin Rage.
Oh!
This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade. Let's go down. This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Hey, what's going on? Hello, everybody. So we got several different cameras. They can see you there, dude.
Oh, can they? I didn't know if that one worked or not.
Yeah, it's there. They can see you there, but you're down there.
Gotcha.
They can see me there. They can kind of see you there, too. Hopefully they can hear us.
I'm everywhere.
It doesn't look like they can. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Yep. I got to do something.
I want to ride.
They can't hear us. That's what it is. I didn't add.
Samurai Fun is now following.
Let's see. Audio. Let's try that. Audio. Nope. Audio. There we go. There you go. Now you should be able to hear us. Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, so we were saying there's several cameras. The pussy's joining us. Where to go?
It went into the door.
So we got pussy too.
I don't think this one's on. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be talking on this one, but
you can talk. It's on. It should be on.
No, C2's not moving.
Well, if
you see if I hit it, yours is 1. Mine would be 2. Mine would be 2, but 2's not on.
Uh-oh.
You probably just have to do the same thing in 2 that you did in 1.
Hello?
Like when you went into the little settings.
There you are.
Am I? Nope. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
There you go. Hello. Okay. So don't mind us. We're under the influence a little bit. Slightly. Just a little. But we're doing things a little different here tonight. So Amanda says she misses you.
We got shows. We had a show last night. You could have came to the show.
Yeah, we were at For Us Wrestling. We were there.
You could have bought the baby and everything. There was kids.
There was some craziness that happened.
A bar that allows kids.
There was, yeah. There was a lot of craziness. There we go. It's all good. So yeah, you might have to get into it a little bit into the mic. That's because it's set up for when we do events, so that you turn it down so that it doesn't get a bunch of the background noise. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, so all this shit has to be and so I'm going to talk about that, and then I'll talk about this too. But tear it all down, set it up, tear it all down, set it back up. Right. This is my life. Again, as you said, is get when you're part of the business. However, pretty soon, not November, probably by December 16th when we do For Us Wrestling. When we go to For Us Wrestling, I will have something new as far as the video part of it goes. The audio portion will go. The video portion will go, but this, as Greg calls it, the whole ass computer will stay. Yeah, the whole ass computer will stay here from now on, and I will not have to carry this whole thing. It is a ring light, but so the thing is that it's too bright. That's the problem. Like, so imagine yourself if you're in the ring, and I got that on you. You're blinded. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that mic, it's not picking you up because you're like so far away from it. Is
this
it?
One?
Yeah. Is it?
No, this one it's in yours. Like I'll be picking it up in yours, but like
okay.
The second one, I thought it was the second one at first.
Why?
Like if I talk here, it's catching me.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. But so they hey, who's here? Let's see. We got Rebecca. Yeah, Rebecca says you got to lean in, Mark. If you will, it be easier for you to take it out of that so you can hold the mic yourself.
Maybe.
There you go, buddy. Take this. You know what this is too, actually? You know what this is actually too? It's not actually a mic stand. It's actually picture you're in a band, you're a drummer, and would put a microphone at your bass drum. This is a bass drum microphone stand. And it actually has a boom built on, and I just
Gotta do what you gotta do.
that is he's there now because now he's got the mic. He should be fine.
Talking like the 1960s television host.
Right, there you go. So he should be good. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get him a new microphone. I hope, but
I'm not screaming. His
No.
son's upstairs sleeping. I'm not screaming for you guys. Well, I just thought he was sleeping.
there is no kid upstairs, by the way.
So when I walked in the house, there was cartoons on the television. You guys get to know that Cody was watching cartoons before I got here because there was no kid upstairs, according to Cody.
Well, he left. Him and mom, they're at a Halloween party.
Oh,
So-
you did say that. You did say that.
They left, and I've just been setting shit up, so they
Gotcha,
did. They left
gotcha.
that shit rolling. Jack and Coke, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There's one. I'm not used to doing. This is the 4K camera, but you can't see it in 4K right now because it doesn't capture in 4K. It only 1080. It is the next show. So for us wrestling in Garden City, the next one of those is in December 16th. The next XICW, I believe, is November 20th. And so then you will also be at Grizzly's in November. I forget the day of that show.
Either the 20.
Somewhere in there, November.
I don't think it's the 19th. So I believe it's the 20th.
That's not even good math.
Yeah.
I
I believe it's a Saturday this time instead of Sunday.
26th. Yeah, so it's the 26th. That one's going down at Grizzly's in Wyandotte.
And that's a cool poster. I had to message them because I was like, "Is this the match?" I was like, "All these people, is this the match?" They're like, "No, like you'll find out the match later."
Oh,
But I thought that was the match at first. I was like, "I'm not trying to wrestle all these people."
nice little.
Jamie Cox and Gutter, like I'm not trying to wrestle the 90s into the 2000s, and then me and Justin Maine the 2000s, you know what I'm saying, the 2010s, and then these newer. I'm not trying to do all that.
Right.
Plus the champ, nah, I'm good.
Right. Well, they added VIP couches. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, they got VIP couches now, $40. And I talked them in.
How big is the couch? A 3-person couch, or is it like a L couch? So a love seat,
Yeah,
a 40-person love seat, or a $40 love seat.
it's a $40 love seat, but they're gonna give
Drink some food.
no.
I mean, it's a love seat.
No, what they're gonna do, to my understanding, you may get a signed autograph poster or something.
Got you.
You know,
I mean, yeah, VIP usually gets that kind of stuff.
yeah. Well,
free
that's what I
match or
told them.
something.
I'm like, man, you got to offer them something. You
Yeah,
can't
a
just,
free match. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you just can't give them a couch and say, oh, here you go, $40 and a couch. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was worried about for a second.
Yeah, you know what I'm
I literally
saying.
got a couch.
Right, you can't.
If you think about it, when you sit in a couch after about 25 minutes, like you start to sink. So like eventually you're lower than the
Right.
people sitting front row. Like
Right. Yeah. The show. So Amanda says she'll come get drunk on my birthday, December 13th. So she'll say, "Come to the 16th show." And
I say the 13th is like a Tuesday.
If you go to the For Us on the 16th, we'll all be there, and it's at the Renegades Bar.
And my birthday's the 23rd, so we can share a drink.
Oh, you're 23rd of December?
Yeah.
So you were born 2 days before Christmas.
I was born 2 days before Christmas, and then this is the story that I'm always told. This is the story that my dad is very proud of. I was born 2 days before Christmas, and then the nurse that helped deliver me, she walked in, and I was also born in the same hospital as Michael Jordan's son. So she delivered Michael Jordan's son before delivering me, and Michael Jordan's signature was like on her apron smock thing. And so my dad felt close to Michael Jordan as I was being born because our nurse was the same lady.
That's a hell of a story.
Like I was destined for greatness to my dad because Michael Jordan's name was in the same room as me when I was being born.
You know, I used to try to forge his signature.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
That's mean that if you're going to forge a signature, it's either his, John F. Kennedy's, or Barack Obama's. But
right,
other than that, you're wasting your time.
Right, but no.
Yeah.
So and I mean that in the nicest way. Like I didn't mean to. Like I wasn't trying to sign checks in Michael Jordan or try to pass off Michael Jordan's signature and sell it. I had a basketball. It was a Michael Jordan basketball signature. Always sitting there trying to write it like Michael Jordan because, as a song used to go, I want to be like Mike.
Yeah, you wanted to be like Mike.
Yeah, well, I wanted to be like Mike. Well, and I mean, what do you say?
No, I said I want to be like Mike when I was like 14. You know how like your grandparents, how your grandparents love you,
yeah,
but they don't get it. You know how your great grandparents really don't get it. Like, so my grandmother, like I said, my birthday's 2 days before Christmas. My great grandmother, she's a very loving woman. She gave me a cassette tape player with like old school headphones. It was like see-through. I was like 15. She gave me a cassette player. So this is like 2005 with I Want to Be Like Mike, the tape. That was my Christmas birthday gift when I was like 15.
Man.
And I remember looking at her and being like, so you want me to put 50 Cent in my CD player down to listen to? Okay, I got you. But that's why when you said that, that's why I laughed.
Yeah, that's great. Be like Mike. I played in the Gus Macker one.
Played in the Gus Macker once?
Once.
I played the Gus Macker a bunch of times, but people will never remember that because it was
it was one time. If you don't know what the Gus Macker was, it was a 3-on-3 tournament, basketball tournament. There was one in Port Huron. They were all over the place. You could have 4 teams or 4 people on your team, 1 substitution. And there was one in Port Huron at the SC4 area, which is the college in our area. And it was really huge for a long time. And then it just disappeared.
Well, basketball was huge in the 90s, and then other things started like catching up with basketball because Jordan left. So you didn't have that icon.
Yeah.
So like we haven't really had Brady was an icon, but like the Patriots were like very controversial to where like it kind of like stunted it. But Jordan changed the world at a time where the world was changing itself. So
True.
like basketball was just everybody just shot around or had a hoop like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had a hoop on your end of your garage or something. Basketball was just a different game,
Yeah.
which is why he had movies like White Men Can't Jump and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they made Space Jam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I can't
Bugs
jump.
Bunny, and Bill Murray were in the same scene together. It was a different time.
I was really big into basketball back then. I'm not so much anymore. I mean, like for instance, like so if the Pistons make the playoffs, I'll watch.
Oh, so you haven't watched since like 2005?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
No. It's been a long time since they've been doing it.
So like if I remember, forget who LeBron, I think LeBron was playing for Miami, him and Dwayne Wade, and my wife was working for Verizon. She got tickets to a Pistons. Like, all right, well, and I didn't give a fuck about the Pistons. I get to say I watched LeBron James play.
Bro, the last Pistons game I went to was the other Florida team. I went to a Pistons versus Orlando Magic game in the playoffs, and I went to see Tracy McGrady. I was like, I don't give a damn about anybody on the Pistons. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I was supposed to cheer for Chucky Atkins? No, I'm cheer for Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Well, and then I think another time I went to go see the Pistons, and I forget who it was. I got tickets for $5, and John Sally was there.
Oh, like a special guest?
Yeah, but he was like I didn't get to meet him or nothing, but he was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He kind of like walked past us like, oh hey, cool. Whatever. I've met a couple different basketball players, like Pistons wise, because you know how it is here.
They just be places.
Right, yeah. They love their sports here and so everywhere you go there's like some old school sports player signing an autograph somewhere. And so when I was a real big mover in the union, they used to have a labor fest every year. Had this down at Ford Field. That year, John Kerry was running for president. I forget who was vice president, who he was running with vice president. That guy was there, and he was talking, and he was labor back, whatever. But anyways, I met like, shit, what was that guy's name, man? So, fuck, I can't remember, but he was there. I'm drinking. That's what it is. I'll remember.
He was a Piston?
Yeah, he was a Piston, but he was a bench guy. You know what I mean? He'd come out.
Ooh, he was a bench guy?
Yeah, he'd come off
in the 80s or 90s?
It was one of the years that they won the title, most recent title.
The 2004 title?
Yeah.
Oh, so you had people like, because the starters were Ben, Tayshaun, Chucky, Rip, and Rashid. And then your backups were Chauncey. I want to say it was one of the Berries.
It was a point guard. If I'm not mistaken, that it was a backup point guard.
So yeah, like at that time they had people like Chucky Atkins, I think they had like Speedy Claxton.
I have no idea.
Like,
whoa,
yeah, their backups. Their backups went deep. Their backups went super deep. I mean, even AI was one of their backups at one point in time. So
I can't remember what his fucking name. Well, I got a picture with him. And then Rick Mahorn was there.
Rick Mahorn.
You know, he's a funny guy.
And it's funny that you say that because Rick Mahorn or what was the other guy? Christian Leitner were going to be one of my first two guests. That's why I asked you 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll remember that. On to it pisses me off now. And then Lance Parrish was there. Got his autograph, but
I forgot that you'd be doing that kind of stuff.
Autographs?
Not just autographs, but like you go to like the cons and
I did.
And like the metro. Yeah, when you had like when I first met you, like you were doing like all of those like the metro things and going and like I wish I had. There's a lot of conversations I wish I could have had with people.
Right. Well, I mean, I went so every year. What is it? It's at the Cobo. It's the Autorama. That's what it is. So I don't know, like there's one in Detroit. They're all over the place, but they have Autorama, and then they used to have like one WWE star every.
I did, and at the same time I also found all my other lighters. So I wanted to make sure I gave yours back on camera. This way I had visual proof that I did give you your lighter back.
But they would have one WWE guy every year, right? And then people were telling me about, like 1 year they had Shawn Michaels and Big Show 1 year and then whatever. I didn't start going until Daniel Bryan, right?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan.
All right, which one you want to call him, the American Dragon, all right? Whoever he is today. I went to him, and it was Alex and I went, and we waited in the line. Dude, we waited in line for a long fucking time, and we didn't get there till late. So anyways, we get there, get his autograph, talk to him. Well, then next year, I went, and it was who was it the next year? AJ Styles.
I remember your AJ Styles year. I remember you being geeked up about it. I think Alex might have been training at that time. Yeah. That's when we were talking more.
Right, and then he waited with me too. Next year was Seth Rollins. Or Charlotte. It was Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte. I definitely remember you being excited about Charlotte. Yeah,
Charlotte. Well, you know why I was so excited about that one? This is why. This is the collector. I've told this story 100 times, and I'll tell. I have. They have the wrestling figures, the defining moments, and it's defining moments from wrestlers' careers. And one of the defining moments is the Ric Flair retirement match between him and Shawn Michaels. I love you. Kicks him. Okay, well, everybody knows the story. Well, anyways, in that he wears a blue robe in that match. On the figure, he's wearing a blue robe. So that blue robe was dismantled and used part of it was used to make part of Charlotte's blue robe.
When she main evented?
When she what?
When she main evented Mania against Becky?
Yes.
Okay, I remember the robe. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, in her elite figure that she had, they had that blue robe. So when I met her, I had her sign that. So I have the blue robe Flair signed by Ric Flair, and I have the blue robe Charlotte signed by Charlotte Flair, and then I have a sequin from the 2020 2K whatever wrestling thing when they did the it would be like the special release of it or whatever.
Yeah.
You get I got a piece of one of his blue. Well, I don't think it was that one. Get a sequin. But fuck it, hey, I'm all about it. I fucking Rick.
I get you. I definitely get you.
I don't know. I bet Rick
Flair. I've never met Ric Flair. All the business stuff I've done, I've met some guys, but I've never met Ric Flair.
This motherfucker's got his own weed now.
That makes sense.
Right. Do you know how many wrestlers got their own weed now?
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure if we
make our own weed
by next,
that's Rasslin Rage or the 401k drip. Well, I mean, Ric Flair's got the Ric Flair drip. Yeah, Kevin Nash has got something.
Well, that was because of rappers,
right? And then
so is that what it's called?
The Ric Flair drip. And so Kevin Nash has got his own, and there's somebody else too that's got their own. I mean, well, obviously Mike Tyson got his own, and I know he's not in wrestling; he's a boxer, but he better. I'd be stupid. That's a missed opportunity right there. Shout out El Ridiculoso. Oh, I said opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said that was a missed opportunity.
Wait a minute, they related? Did I miss? I got you.
He went to Florida
as I was coming,
and then you came back.
There's a it was that close of time.
Hold on a second. What's happening with your shit? I don't know. It says you're fading in and out.
I mumble too, though. I want you to pay attention, so I talk very low.
How's that? Hello? Check. Audio, check.
Oh man, this mic's a lot lighter too. Oh, different. Kind of like, actually, we can have it right now. What kind of pants you be buying? Because the pants I buy, like when I sit places, I don't know why, but like everything falls out of my pockets. Like you see, my wallet fell out. Where did my phone?
Well, you're wearing loose like joggers and shit though. I'm wearing fucking
falls out of my.
Let me tell you the secret. All right, but no, it's not really a secret because I am not a fashion sensation across all 4 elemental nations. I
all 4 of them.
Right, I am. Is it 4 or 5?
I don't know. That's why I laughed at 4. I thought it was just 1. You said like.
Well, it's Airbender. The
elements 5.
Is it 5? Oops. Okay,
Yeah,
so the 5 elements. My bad.
Water 5. Always like a spirit type. Basically.
He says it's good now.
Okay.
Yeah, it must have been that mic. I'm gonna have to get another one. This one's a PB.
The mic was probably like, yo, my lungs, man.
We were talking about something, but I don't even remember what it was now. Oh, it was. We were talking about Florida. We were talking about. Yeah.
Like I came.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about.
And Ric Flair drip.
Well, I just find it odd that you things are like, I wouldn't say it's full circle, but you were involved in Proving Ground. The first season you were involved in Proving Ground, you were runner up. The second season you were involved in Proving Ground, you won with Real Ridiculoso being your vet, right? Right. You are here participating in this season of Proving Ground, and he's down in Florida doing his thing in Florida. It's just it's just one of those weird how life works out things, you know what I mean?
It is absolutely. He talked to me the whole time. Guys, all the time. I would tell him to come down. Guys that could take opportunity. Life happens. Put it. Ridiculoso was one of those guys that like born, like just couldn't. But it was also being down. My life just happened to happen. Back. We ended up missing each other again. So and it sucks because I wanted to see him at what is it called? UPW? Is that where he was supposed to wrestle Tommy Dreamer? Is UPW?
Yeah, UCW.
UCW. Sorry about that. UCW. I wanted to go and see that, and then the live show got canceled. I think because of rain or something like that. Like it was like you couldn't get to it. So I just couldn't see him.
Right.
But
yeah.
That guy taught me how to have fun in wrestling in an atmosphere where you know who he was trained by Brian Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? And so like him out here saying I'm trained like Brian Kendrick doesn't just work like a lot of people because Brian Kendrick isn't from Michigan. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's almost like had he had like a million matches, or had he had like maybe even I don't even say not a million, but like maybe even like 50 matches on tape with Brian Kendrick, it would have been another thing. But like people always had to go off of his word.
Right.
His character was so good that he didn't get the opportunity to wrestle for a long time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the boy can wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
As great as he is with people, the boy can wrestle. And so that's why I'm so happy he's down in Florida, because in wrestling, there's always a mask versus hair match. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that.
Right.
And one day Ridiculous is gonna take that mask off, and like you won't know the difference, and that motherfucker's gonna wrestle. And when he wrestles, it's gonna be great.
See, here's the thing. So, man, I guess I like new things, right? I do like new things in wrestling because you have to evolve. Because if you don't, it's the same thing over and over again. In professional wrestling, we've been what's the word I'm looking for? Groomed, right? Kind of groomed into seeing the same thing over and over again and being okay with that short-term bullshit. Yep. Okay. And when it comes to masked wrestlers, I don't know, man. I just don't want to see that. Like even I don't.
You don't want to see masked wrestlers?
I don't want to see them unmasked.
Oh, you don't want to see them unmasked?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if they were unmasked, okay, I guess like traditionally, and then correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong, which is whatever, but correct me if I'm wrong. Traditionally, when a masked wrestler is unmasked, are they not supposed to retire? Isn't that like a lucha thing?
I wouldn't know. I can't confirm that tradition. Only like I don't know that fact. Mm-hmm. And I only don't know that fact because every person I've ever seen unmasked continue to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Psychosis, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, like all these guys, like they kept on going. So I don't know that part, maybe. But like my reason for wanting to see them unmasked is because like outside of like Rey Mysterio in 2006, like masked characters don't get that like top care. They don't get that shine. You know what I'm saying? Because they're seen as like superheroes. They're seen as fun. They're seen as something for the kids or something like that. But like the shit that a guy like Pentagon, the shit that Rey Mysterio, that Rey Phoenix, like all these guys can do, like if I try it, you would be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? If you watch my matches, you tell me they're great all the time because I know my lane. You know what I'm saying? But if his lane is that much higher than me, why is he not the superstar? You know what I'm saying? They don't get. So if that's the case, take the mask off then. Let me see the superstar. You know what I'm saying? Because like if the mask is what's stopping you, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna do that backflip without the mask on. Take that shit off then. Right. And it's like and it's only because they won't let you do it with the mask on. I would love for you to shine with the mask on. I would absolutely love that. Right. But they won't let you. Right. They treat you like a cartoon. They treat you like Saturday morning cereal. You know what I'm saying? Because they see the kid value in it. And if you're comfortable with it, then that's also cool. That I'm not trying to knock anybody's hustle, but it's just like there's so many masked guys where the other people on the roster, they can't even touch them. Cannot even touch them.
Sorry, just
and at the end of the day, Ultimo Dragon. You know what I'm saying? You always got to think Ultimo Dragon. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He would wrestle anybody, any style, and it was the greatest, best. Like, but he was never going to be WWF champion. Why? Because they seen the character value in him, the action figures, the plush toys, all that kind of stuff. But like, okay, he's not. But to them, he wasn't better than Stone Cold. Okay, that's your story. Then that's what it is. But he is like, you know what I mean? The guy would do a moonsault off the top rope into 3 actual backflips and then run and take an arm drag. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else is throwing up. Right. Yeah. Anybody else is throwing up. That was his normal Tuesday. That wasn't even the pay-per-view. That was Tuesday.
Right. There's a lot going on there's a lot of professional wrestling right now.
Oh, so much.
Like some people say it's like there's like 2 sides to every coin, obviously, right? And some people say like there's too much wrestling, and then other people are saying, well, there's not enough. And it's like I can see it like if you're in professional wrestling, and like I'm not in professional wrestling, but like I do a lot of things within the confines of professional wrestling, right? And like this week, and we were talking about it earlier, like this was one of my most busy weeks I've ever had doing things like interviews, shows, and what have you. And like I'm tired, man. And I don't even perform in the ring where I'm like doing physical.
Our friends are wrestling right now. Right. Our friends are wrestling right now, and they're gonna wrestle tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're doing this, and then I'm going to rest tomorrow. Right. This was me doing something today. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to go hang out with my friend Cody and do a podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's the schedule. Right. Tomorrow I'll rest.
I don't, man, dude, like that's a lot it's a lot.
It's why it's like because we've talked about it before. It's like it's why I went down to just wrestling as myself and just being myself, like realizing the schedule, realizing what this really is, like realizing what you really have to do. Like it's a lot, and it takes away from other things that I also want to do. You know what I'm saying? So like you can commit 100% to something, and it be different somethings. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, in the sense of like, I know guys within this business who want to wrestle for the WWE, and they're giving 100%. I'm giving 100% on the same nights, but I'm not trying to get to the WWE. You know what I'm saying? And I tell guys that, like I've told KJ that a bunch of times. KJ asked me for advice after matches. Like I always caption or warn my message or my advice with, look, bro, remember, I'm not trying to do what you're trying to do. I'm not trying to go where you're trying to go. So my advice is what I thought of your match, not what you should do where you want to get where you want to be. You know what I mean? Because it's like you were saying, we have to know our lanes type thing. Mm-hmm. And it took me a long time, but I've learned my lane. I'm always going to give 100% on my night, but I'm giving my 100% to where I'm trying to go, which is the greatest tonight, the greatest person that you've seen tonight that's going to go home to his son. You know what I'm saying? I'm not catching a flight to the next booking. I'm not. I'm gonna go home, see my son, kiss my daughter, try to get a nap, and maybe eat some soup, and then I'm gonna go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Soup. Maybe some soup.
I get kicked in my face a lot. You know what I'm saying? Soup. I can swallow soup. I ain't gotta chew. I ain't gotta chew.
What is your favorite soup?
My favorite soup is anything loaded potato. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like loaded potato beef, loaded potato, like I like stuff with potatoes in it. And I actually am I'm a kind of person where like I don't have time for the BS. And the BS is even down to like I don't want to sit there and wait for it. I'm not putting it in a bowl and then I'm just gonna open up this can and eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So like potatoes you can eat like that. You know what I'm saying? And like so like I like a lot of potato. It's usually like loaded potato bacon or something like that. But
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I just open up the can and eat.
Well, now, so like I'm the same way with not soup, but like with ravioli. I don't heat up ravioli. I don't heat up SpaghettiOs. I don't heat up that shit.
It's okay, but it actually tastes a lot better. Just open up the can. Like my whole mindset is like, it's been sitting here. Like I work at a grocery store. I know what people do sometimes. I don't know how long that can's actually been sitting here, but it's been sitting here, and it's perfectly fine. We're still selling it. Somebody paid for it, so I'm just.
Yeah.
The stuff in the fridge is supposed to be cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like that kind of stuff, like that needs attention to. You know what I'm saying? But like literally, just open up that shit and eat it.
Well, I've been that way since I was a kid. I don't know if my parents was that was just something my parents did, but I'm just not somebody that. It's not about. I don't know if it's about a time thing with me. It's just something that I'm used to. Now, soup, on the other hand, like I will heat up soup. Like
the time thing was more like more of a joke, but like in actual like thinking like if I'm actually thinking about it, like they tell you to drink like a warm glass of water in the morning because it's better for your body. It's one of those kind of things for me. It's where it's just like it's just more comfortable to just eat it like that than you heat it up. If you heat it up, you're waiting for it to cool down anyways.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I just eat it. I just eat it cold.
Well, I mean, there's certain places around here, like in our area, and I'm sure there's everywhere else too that they make their own soups, right?
Yeah.
And there's a restaurant like and I'm sure you eat there too. Is Ted's in Ted's Coney Island. I went to school with the Posios, the owners of the store.
Okay.
But of that restaurant, anyways. But I enjoy their soups, and like they have a great fucking. They got. Cabbage soup, they got a potato soup, they got beef barley, dude, they're all delicious, dude, and like if you ever go in there you should get their soups, dude. I'm just saying.
It's funny that you say that because like every time, so if I go in there with my kids and their mom, she always asks what soup they have. And it's funny because you just said every soup except for the soup that they always say that they have, which is lemon rice. And I'm just like,
lemon. Why are you gonna eat that shit?
And that's my mindset. It's like lemon rice.
Yeah,
like what did you? Who tried this? Who tried this? Not watermelon rice, not strawberry rice, not banana rice. There's so many good fruits, and they were like, you know what? Give me that sour shit that nobody wants and the grains.
Right? Yeah. Like, it's not something that I was ever fond of. Ever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind rice, but I'm not lemon rice.
Lemon rice.
No, it's not. That's not something. That reminds me of lemon haze. It's funny. We're gonna go into weed again. When I got to Amsterdam, where we stayed in Amsterdam in our hotel was right next to Grand Central Station, which is their main hub for their train system or whatever. But like 3 blocks away, we ran into our first coffee shop, and over there, their coffee shop is where you buy your weed, and we got super lemon haze, and I was really nervous because because weed wasn't legal here in the States yet, well, in Michigan anyways. It was medicinally legal, but not recreationally legal. And so I'm like, going up there to buy weed, like, oh my God, I'm buying weed legally. I'm so nervous, right? But anyway, so we get a pre-roll of lemon haze, and over there, you got to be careful. You can't get you just can't say you want a pre-roll, right? You got to tell them that you want a pure pre-roll, because over there, they smoke their dope with tobacco.
Oh, that's right. It spliffs.
Yeah.
The good old split.
Yeah. And you got to tell them you want a pure.
The good old split.
Yeah. So we got that. And then we're like, we didn't know Like we were like, oh man, we gotta go find a place to go smoke it because we're so used to having to hide, right? Well, dude, we could have just stood right there out in the open, and over there you can walk right down the road and smoke a doobie, no problem, dude. But it was my first strain that I smoked in Amsterdam was Super Lemon Haze.
Super Lemon Haze.
Super Lemon Haze.
Pure.
No tobacco
No
added.
tobacco. I'm not gonna lie. If I was there and like we were going through that conundrum, like while you guys were talking about it, I'd be like, "Hey, yo, just like give me like 3 of those splits." And like I don't know what they gonna get real quick, but like give me 3 of the splits real quick, and I would have been halfway down the block at a taco stand, and y'all would have still been talking about it with my first split already gone. Like nigga, like that shit was great. That shit was great.
Well, it was just a different experience for me, man. It was a great experience, by the way. I mean,
I heard it's ruthless.
I want to go back.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to go to Amsterdam just to see all the stuff that people say you shouldn't see. Like I want to go. They said like I heard that there's like there are prostitutes just like standing in windows,
red light
like clothes and stuff. I want to see that. I just want to like be able to like I'm not. I might buy some, but I'm not sure if I want. I just want to see it though. Like I just want to walk around and be like, oh, there's a.
It's different.
Let me try
it's a total different world.
How would that look wrapped around my shoulders? You know what I'm saying? Like, just say, like you know what I'm saying? Like in all honesty,
how it wrapped around your shoulders.
And that is a little spoon reference, you know what I'm saying? Because it's sex and everything. But you know what I'm saying? But like I'm not gonna degrade her and be like under my feet like shoes. Like she's a coat. You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, like but I would just what do they do? Like it's like have you ever been bored at work? You ever just been waiting for your manager to tell you the next thing to do?
Yeah.
And it'd been like, God dang, where's this man at? You know what I'm saying? Like imagine just standing in a window until your next, they're just like, this is the next pose. Damn, I gotta eat. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You know, there's somebody doing it right in front of like because it's 2022,
right? So
that somebody has to have like a rotating billboard where like the advertisements change all the time,
right?
You get that McDonald's advertisement
when
Lord. You're standing in a window and nobody will buy you, and you're hungry as hell,
dude.
Like
they'll start beating on the windows.
They
as
do.
You walk by, yeah, dude. Oh
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. I just want to see that. See, now you just changed the whole game. Because now I thought I was looking at a coat. Now you're talking about like it's a zoo. Like I'm walking through like the animals are like, hey yo. Now you're talking about it like it's a zoo.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Hey yo, okay. Oh yeah, okay. What's up, monkey? You know what I'm saying? Like
it's a different world over there, man. Let me tell you, dude. Like because you over here, we have this different culture and the way things are, and over there they're more accepting. They're very very liberal on things and. You go to the red light districts, and this is what I tell people. If you hear church bell, you know you're in the red light district.
If you hear a church bell.
If you hear church bells, you're in the red light district.
If you're in the good parts of town where prostitutes aren't, you won't hear a church bell.
Most likely.
If you're in the part where the prostitutes are.
True. Dude, literally, I am not joking, dude. There is a church, an alley, and a wall with girls in the wall selling themselves.
There's got to be a better way to say that.
There probably is. That it's the truth.
Like girls in the window.
Yeah, there's girls in the window.
Girls in the window. Girls
with red lights.
Girls up on display.
Girls
up on display are kind of rough too.
Right.
Because that's kind of like anything could have happened to them.
There are legal prostitutes in windows next to the church. How's that? Is that
if
better?
I scratch myself in public, I might get arrested in a felony.
Not over there.
Over here, though. That's what I'm saying. It's so wild, man.
It's a different spot, man. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I definitely would go back.
I need to get my felony lifted.
You can go. You're fine.
Yeah, my time has passed. I just have to pay the money.
Funny, you know what? So, talk about. Let's talk. I'm gonna get real personal here. Personal issues. I have not had a operator's license of motor vehicles since I am 43 years old, Mark. I have not had a license since I was 18. And I am just now eligible to get my license back. And I am now going through the whatever you call it to get my license back, dude. And I literally thought that I was going to have to jump through so many hoops. Apparently, the laws changed in the state of Michigan, and now I can get my license back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know for a minute there, like I had some stuff going on with my license, and then Whitmer passed something where like everything was expunged. So,
Yeah.
Like driver's responsibility, all that was gone, and so like I was able to get my license back. I was able to get my license back, but actually, you know my story.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my DUIs last year. I got my
Which
DUIs.
they are very stringent on that shit.
Yeah, and the DUIs were like, and it was the first one was me really messing up. The second one was me not knowing the law. It was me not being prepared for life. But then, so I'm actually on Thursday. I have to go to court for driving on a suspended. But I wasn't doing nothing crazy or nothing like that. I literally just went and dropped some money off to somebody, and on the way back, they pulled me over because I had no tags on my car because can't get tags if I don't have a license. You know what I'm saying? But believe me, I completely get it, bro. Like it's one of those situations where you just kind of like, I don't drive. I absolutely hate driving.
I don't like to drive much.
Pretty sure you've been in a car with me a couple times on the road. People hate being in cars with me because I do two things. I look at trees and then I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's like I like the moment I get into a car.
Well, you've never been driving when I've been in the car with you.
No,
I've been in the car with you,
and I probably was sleeping, right?
You fell asleep a couple times, yes.
A couple times, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's probably because I couldn't just stay asleep. Otherwise,
remember
I
that
just
time
fell
we
asleep.
were coming home from what was it, Indiana?
Yes, we talk about it all the time, bro. Me and Rebecca, I feel like it's like the worst thing I've ever done to anybody. Like I didn't do it intentionally, but we just left Rebecca outside for so long.
Oh fuck, man. Well,
chasing titties.
I'm just saying it was late, man, and
no, I get you, bro.
I mean, I'm from the generation, and we're not that far off from age, are we?
You said you're 43?
Yeah.
I'll be 34 this year. About 10 years.
Well, 10 years. Okay, so we are that far. My bad. Excuse me. But anyways, where was I going with this, damn it?
We left Rebecca outside unintentionally.
Oh,
I was chasing titties. You were hanging out with wrestlers.
You were hanging out with wrestlers. I forgot.
You remember that was the night where, what's his name? I can't remember. He didn't do mask, but he did a face paint. It was some guy, but he was like passed out we were partying, and this guy was like passed out on the couch the whole time. God.
I don't remember that.
I'm gonna remember it the moment the show ends.
I just remember going, it's time to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that too, because it was time to go, because we had XI the next day. That's why it was really bad, because we had XI the next day.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. It's like I grew up, my parents used to take me in the car when I was a child to put me to sleep. So literally anytime I get in the car and I drive long distance, I'm out like a night.
I'm not sure if my mom did it to put me to sleep, but I do know that like my mom would take us because she had to. We would go to the grocery store with my mom, and you know how the grocery store is. Yeah. You go there for lettuce and onions, but then you end up buying 45 different things. And so like at the time it was okay. Kids would stay in the car, and like I just got used to just listening to some music and falling asleep. Right. You know what I'm saying? And my sisters would be in the back. Like I just and me and you, like, we know we're just constantly moving. If I'm in a car, it's like the first time I'm not moving in the day. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not driving, I have no responsibility. Right. I'm so sorry. I'm going to sleep. Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't mean to do this. There's literally times where like I wake up and somebody's like talking to me still, and I'm like, fuck, what could they have said? What could they have said? I got to piece this together. I got to answer them.
It was 2 months ago for us. You rode with me to For Us.
Okay.
And I was literally talking to you, and I looked over, and you're like a light. I'm like, what the fuck? I just stopped talking. I'm like,
but I guarantee I woke up like everything was normal. Like, hey, yo, so yeah, just go ahead. And I guarantee it. I guarantee I woke up like everything was normal.
I just figure it this way. The way I look at it is you work midnights, and
that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
You work midnights, you're fucking tired all the time.
Yeah, and like I said, we're consistently going. I do professional wrestling. I work midnights. Both my kids do gymnastics. Both my kids do karate. My son just signed up for Boy Scouts. He just had his first basketball practice today. You know what I'm saying? Like, And like everybody has a birthday party.
Yeah.
Everybody has this party. Like we're consistently moving to where like I don't sleep and I don't really, if I nap, I take like 7-minute naps. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's fucked up.
I take like 7-minute naps in your car and I wake up and I just keep on going. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
Yeah, that's a lot of shit to do, dude. So like my oldest wasn't really into all that shit. You know, like we had our oldest in Cub Scouts or whatever that was.
mm-hmm.
He didn't want to do it no more. And it just so happens we happen to be related to Master Lyle.
Okay.
All right, so who trained the Weirs. And we were at a family function and we were talking to Master Lyle, and he recommended that we try karate. And he said that there was one for Huron. There hadn't been one previously, and the Weirs moved out. Well, they weren't out here yet. They just opened a school out here. Talked to them. We started training. Got our kid into karate. Got him into karate. Did karate all the way. He did karate all the way up to 2nd degree black belt. You know, the youngest one, I don't know. He wants to do soccer. He says he wants to do karate. I'm gonna do my best to motivate him to go back. I need to get back in and train.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely need to get back in and train. I don't know. I don't have the desire to move up in rank any longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole representation of the Midnight Blue and content. I'm not complacent with my training. I'm complacent with where I'm at as far as my belt ranking.
My goal is just black belt.
Right,
I know, honestly, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not to be a master. It's not to be 2nd degree. It's like, and it's no offense to them. It's just like black belt is a thing that, like, you know, the 90s, you know what I'm saying? 3 Ninjas, the Ninja Turtles, like all that kind of stuff. Like, I wanted to do karate. My mom didn't have the time to sign me up for it. I signed up for it because my son wanted to do it. I'm pushing on him. You finish what you do. I just want to be a black belt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I want him to believe that, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and if it goes further later, then it goes further later. But as of right now, that's all I'm really shooting for. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I like the stretches of it. I like the patience of it. It's the hardest part about it is that I'm the oldest person in the class. You know what I'm saying? The next oldest person is like 11. You know what I'm saying? So that's the hardest part.
When I started, what was really cool for our group of people, there was like 30-something people in our group.
Was there?
And there was a lot of adults, and there was a lot of families. But there was, so back then, because I know did you guys come in through Kids Power, or did you guys already?
Is Kids Power different than Little Ninjas?
Well, they did Little Ninjas, and then
we did the 6-week program. We did some. It's either Kids Power or Little Ninjas, but the one at Palmer Park.
Right.
And so it was actually a second time because the first time he did it with you.
Yeah.
And so he signed up again at the beginning of this year and did it with Taylor.
Okay.
And at the end of it, that's when they gave us the opportunity to do the test as a family.
He did Kids Power. So he did Little Ninjas the first time. He did Kids Power the second time.
Okay.
Because Little Ninjas for like 5 and under.
Okay.
Kids Power is 5 and up.
Okay.
So what happens is back then they would do that 6-week program, and then they would sign up for their karate classes at the dojo. So they would come in as yellow belts, but they wouldn't know Kichiang Nyobu, which is the first basic form. Now you don't have, at white belt, you don't learn Kichiang Nyobu. So when I became a yellow belt, a bunch of people graduated that Kids Power program and signed up for karate. So there was a whole bunch of families that had signed up, and we were all bunched in together.
Got you.
And that's how it ended up being that way.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. Like, there was a bunch of people that did the test, and actually, yeah, now that you say that and I think about it, there was a bunch of people that signed up for it. I think that I was the only adult. Or no, sorry, there was one more adult that signed up with it, but him and his son don't come anymore.
Right.
But like, yeah, there was.
It's a commitment.
It is.
It's a lifestyle.
People also don't realize that, like, you can practice without being there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can fit it into your time at home, you don't have to be present 5 days a week. They just give you the opportunity to do it 5 days a week. Right. You know what I mean? Because that was something we had to learn. Because now we have 2 kids in school. So once my daughter started going to school, bro, it was literally the first day she was looking at me crying, and I was like, yo, what is going on with you? But she was stressed out. You know what I'm saying? She was shutting down. and so like you just have to learn. You have to learn the schedule.
Yeah. Well, and it's a lifestyle to get used to, and like one of the things that I really loved about karate, it was not so much doing the karate, it was so much that was the influencing other people's journeys in karate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they would, you change people's lives, man, because they don't believe in themselves. A lot, like none of us do. A lot of times, a lot of people, we have a lot of self-doubt. Our own mind is our own problem a lot of the times. And, when because you do martial arts and in the beginning, and, I know this for a fact because I've done this. I've already done it. Then when you start karate, you never truly believe that you're going to make it to black belt. You don't see it as something that you're going to do. And then as you get closer and you get closer and you get closer, and then it becomes reality, and then you do it, and then you take that test, and then you walk different.
Everything I do right, everything I think that I do right, they adjust. Everything that I don't know what I'm doing, they're like, man, that looked great. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like karate is so hard. Like literally they like one time one of the black belts just asked me, like, can you do a hook kick? And I was like, is that one of these? They goes, oh, that was amazing. I was like, so I did it? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, are you sure? Like nobody's ever told me that I could do a hook kick before. Like nobody's ever taught me that. Like I don't want to walk outside this building and be like, hey, look at this hook kick. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, bro, like it's yeah. I completely understand, but I love it, man.
Right. Well, wait till you go. Because you're orange belt now.
Yep, we test for stripe on the 7th.
Okay, so you're still at that beginner belt level. But even still, you're coming into more complicated things that are going to build onto the next thing, and then you get to that green belt level, and things change a little bit. And then you get to that red belt level, and things change even more.
I just signed up for the forums, and so that's the hardest test of it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I love about it.
There's
like
a lot of forums.
Like I really don't. I don't care for the sparring part about it. Like
I never really was a big sparring guy either.
I told my kid's mom if I learned weapons, I would learn bow staff because to me that's the most practical weapon.
Yeah, you have to learn that at some point.
I was like, other than that, okay, you have to learn it.
Yep.
I didn't know that,
Yep.
But other than that, I was like, I don't see myself like realistically using any of the other weapons available.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it.
Like you would have to carry that on you, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, like you know.
Well, like with a bow staff though, they're everywhere.
What's the one? The thing that like Satan carries.
Satan carries.
You know the thing. Seriously, like the devil from like Family Guy. You know the big thing that he carries with the big ass hook.
Oh, yeah, they're what the fuck are
Okay, so the small little mini ones that they be like.
Yeah.
I'm like, where do you keep that? If I was walking down the street with you, and you had to pull that out to utilize it, where is that at? Is it in your pocket, not poking you? Is it in your butt, not poking you? Like, where do you keep that? Like, that's a weird weapon. And I get it's part of the game, but it's just like I don't see myself doing that. So like, at the end of the day, it's funny, but coming to America, I always remember Eddie Murphy just like wiggling that broomstick off.
Yes,
it's a weapon. It's everywhere.
It is.
So
true story. Amanda asked in the chat. She said, "How many kids you have?"
The 2. I got Lincoln and Logan. Still the same 2, the boy and the girl. I believe she met both of them at XI before.
And then she asked me how many kids I have. I have 2. I have my oldest CJ is 20. And my youngest, Caden, is 7, about to be 8.
CJ is also named Caden. I'm just kidding.
No,
that would be really weird.
No, he's actually Cody. His name's Cody.
Is
actually.
it? Okay.
Yeah, it's Cody J. I'm Cody JD. He's Cody J.
I know a guy that named all his kids the same name.
Well, I wanted to name Caden Cody, but my wife wouldn't let me.
Cody, would it be the 3rd in that sense, or the 4th?
It would actually. It would have been, I don't know. We would have named him Caden or Cody Roger Fleming, and he wouldn't have been.
Because the middle.
Yeah,
okay,
he just would have been another Cody.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You would have messed up. You're the kind of person that just messes up the game. Where like he has to explain that to everybody. Like, yeah, dog. Like, yes, my dad's name's Cody. Yeah. My brother's name is Cody Jr.
Well,
I'm just Cody.
I'm
just
I
Cody.
promise. I don't have my wallet, dude. I promise you. So my name is Cody J.D. Fleming, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, you got initials. What's your initials stand for?"
Nothing.
They stand for absolutely fucking nothing. So I used to tell people all the time, JD is what my dad was drinking when I was Jack Daniels, what my dad was drinking when I was born. Not a true story. But The actual true story is, okay, so I have 2 older brothers that nobody really knows about, but they're my half brothers. Okay, like people know, but not a lot of people know, right? So I have 2 half brothers. My dad was married previous to my mother. Now had 2 kids. They got a divorce. He married my mom. They had me and my sister. Okay, so anyways, my fucking dad, his firstborn is Donald J. Jr., right? Then his next was Sean J. Fleming, right? Then he had me, and instead of naming me Donald J. the Third, they took the D and the J and they flipped it around and came up with JD and named me Cody. And you want to know where they got the name Cody from? Motherfucker, don't ask me why, but he was watching Sesame Street, was probably smoking some weed. Fucking, he was watching fucking Sesame Street, and some Indian lady on the show had her kid, and they named the kid Cody. And my dad was like, "That's a sweet name," so they named me Cody.
In the 70s.
79. I was
born in 79.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. You were named after a little black kid off of Sesame Street.
Because it was Indian.
I mean, yeah, he
American, Native American.
Okay, Native American, but still, bro. Like, oh my god, the 70s was like pure minority Sesame Street.
Hey,
you guys hadn't got there. White folks hadn't got to Sesame Street in the 70s shit. Not in the 70s. It was like 83, 84. So like it was still like pure minorities. You were named after a minority. That is funny.
Well,
you were named after a minority, your dad in reverse, and the given last name.
That sounds like something you hear in Kentucky, though, don't it?
You want to? So, my name, Mark. My mom wanted to name me Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't name me Tony because my uncle's name was Tony. My uncle had a son before she did, named him Tony. My grandfather's name is Lewis. For some reason, everybody calls him Tony or Tone. I also have another uncle named Tony. Plus, my great uncle is named Tony.
That's a lot.
So my dad was like, "We're not naming Mark Tony." So they made Anthony my middle name. My name Mark comes from my dad's best friend, who lost a game of Russian roulette.
Okay. Why you got to do such a thing?
I'm named after a guy who lost. Like, I wish my name was turned around and flipped or some crazy shit. This nigga lost at Russian roulette.
Oh
so,
man,
like, believe me, I people ask me like where I got my name from. You know what I'm saying? I'm the second book of the Bible. Like I much rather tell them that or something like that. But yeah, bro, it's wild. It is wild.
Well, that one's done.
JD.
Mark
JD Ross. I'm gonna tell people that's my middle name from now on. I'm gonna tell them your exact story.
There you go. Well,
got an older brother and another brother.
Dude, so you want to know what my grandfather's name was? His legit name on my dad's side?
Is it a classic name?
No.
No, it's not a classic name? Okay.
It's his actual name. No, and this is gonna be great.
The Thurgood?
No.
I love Thurgood. I don't know why, but old man named Thurgood is like
it's RD.
RD? The letters, not
This
RD.
is his name, RD.
Not RD.
RD. And then I had a cousin. Hold on, wait a minute. I had a cousin, and he rode Harleys. He was drinking and driving on his Harley. He got hit and killed. But his name was RDJJ.
His full name was 4 letters.
His middle name was JJ. Like his middle initials were JJ.
So Fleming.
Yeah, RDJJ Fleming.
That's still wild.
It literally says RDJJ on his gravestone.
Jesus.
I swear to God. Same with my grandfather. RD. My grandfather, motherfucker, that guy slept more than anybody I met in my life.
Was that creative? Like it was like were they like, look at my name is Arthur, but you know what I'm saying, like call me RD.
I don't even know the story behind it. I never learned the story.
Well, that's the story now. His name was Arthur. His name was Arthur. But he wanted to be called RD. It sounded better. Arthur gets you beat up. RD does not.
Buddy, my grandfather, he's a retired trades out of Mueller Brass. And back in the days, I'm a union man in case anybody wanted to know. Back in the day at Mueller Brass, they had two locals. They had Local 44, which is now they're all the whole local that they have. But they had a special trades union, which was a separate local, and then they had just a regular workers union. My grandfather was part of Local 44, which at that time was the special trades union. Cool story about that. When my grandfather died, it was, I don't remember what year it was, but he passed away. He was getting older and getting up into age. And but when the funeral was going on, not the funeral, but when the showings or whatever, that current president of the Local 44 came to my grandfather's showing and presented a Bible, and it had like a gold leaf on the front, and it had the UAW symbol on it, Local 44, with my grandfather's name in it, and they presented it to my grandmother. It was pretty cool, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Local 44 was. I just knew them as a sponsor. Like I remember them from like baseball and Little League.
Yeah,
you know
it was the UAW.
Okay.
Yeah, UAW. It's United Automotive, Aerospace, and Aeronautical Workers of America.
Okay. Yeah. That's dope. Yeah, I never knew what they were.
Yeah, that's what the 44. And then there's different locals throughout the whole area, because you got the Local 44 out of Mueller Brass. And there's Local 1149 out of American Tape or Intermere. There's my local, which is now Local 8100. There's a Local 375, which is the Chrysler guys here in Marysville. Then there's a couple other plants that are part of that local as well. And then there's also Local 9699. I used to be a union steward in 9699 when I worked at Collins and Aikman. I don't miss that. I never want to be a union steward again, ever in my fucking life.
I bet, bro.
That's, so if there's only one union steward per shift.
So 3 to a building?
Right. Well, yeah. And so you got fucking, depending on how big your facility is, so at that time, I believe Collins and Aikman employed like 730 something employees. Of those 730, maybe 100 or so of those were fucking blue collar workers, and everybody else, or not blue collar, but shirt and tie, whatever you want to call them, whatever they call them motherfuckers. And then there was us, the factory rats.
He's blue collar and white collar.
Yeah, white collar, whatever. But so them motherfuckers, so there was probably 120, maybe more per shift or what have you. And I was represented my entire shift. And you ever listen to a whole bunch of people bitch all the fucking time? It really sucks.
Yeah, I'd be standing in the middle of the ring, bro. Like, I've heard of go like, shut up.
I want to file a grievance, or
I want to file. Never mind. That's a different kind of complaint. Grievance complaints is like, yo, dog, shut up.
Funny story. I actually had somebody came to me as the union steward to complain that there was no toilet paper in the bathroom.
I can understand that.
Well, I get that.
I can understand. Like, I can understand.
I'm the union steward. What the fuck am I gonna do about it?
I can understand your point of it. Like, where it's like, dog, yeah. I can understand where you're just like, dog, what am I supposed to do? If you come up to me and say, I want to file a grievance, that is the equivalent of a child telling another child, I'm going to tell my mom. In all honesty, it's like, you're going to file a grievance? Like, bro, just scream at me and tell me what you want,
right? So
I can scream at you back, and we can be two adults about this and feel how we feel about it. But I want to file a grievance. It's literally, now you're going to walk away. You're going to tell somebody about your grievance. I'm going to sit here and wait for your grievance. We don't have to like there's so many. It's it's literally just, I'm gonna tell my mom. Like, that's how I hear that. Like,
I'm gonna tell my mom.
I'm gonna tell my mom.
Right. Dude, I'm out of. I don't know what else to talk about right now, dude.
Yeah, bro. But this was the point. I just wanted to talk for a second. You know what I'm saying? You had a free moment tonight. And if this is all it is, this is all it is. You know what I'm saying? But like, I wanted to something like this just to be able to talk for a second.
Well, you know what? Now the thing is like, so like my drink's empty and I want another one. That's the thing.
Which is what's cool. We can end the stream and get another drink and still, you know what I'm saying? I can step outside, smoke a cigarette. We can talk off camera.
Okay.
The last time I told you I wanted to do this, I screamed at you for an hour. And then I left wrestling.
Which time was that?
I screamed at you for an hour and left wrestling for a year.
That was like, when you around when you first came back.
When I first came back, you know what I'm saying? It was the same thing. I told you I wanted to talk, and talk did not go the way it was supposed to.
Before we get out of here, I remember, because I've been drinking now, but there was something I did want to ask you though, because I tell everybody all the time that I've known you for a long time, and I wouldn't say it's been a long time. It's been about 5 years at least, right? Because
we've known each other like this for about 5 years, but because I'm not sure where it was, but it was like a church event, or it was like we knew each other from passing. You know what I'm saying? Like some kind of sports or school or something like that. We knew each other's faces.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we knew each other's existence. We weren't personal with each
right.
other.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I definitely knew who Cody Fleming was even beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
So, but, and I've watched this, like, I don't know, like, in professional wrestling, there's a lot of people trying to find themselves, right? Like find their character, find who they are, and all these things. And we've seen, what we call evolution. We've seen different versions, right? You were Keith Sweat, Cyrus Satine. Now there's Mark Ross, right? And I mean, Mark Ross is you. It's not anybody else but you. You're not playing a character. You are Mark Ross. So what I wanted to ask you was, like with everything that you've been through in coming to where you're at now, like, what does it feel like to you now, like where you're at? Because to me, it feels like you're in a good spot mentally, and you're in a good spot in your career with wrestling. And, because there was a time where I didn't think you were going to come back to professional wrestling, so, here you are now, and you're back, and to me, you seem like you're in a good spot. So, tell us, where are you in a good spot? And I feel like you are, but what is it to you now that, like, having gone through all these things that you went through, like, sometimes we say in life, like, you have to go through all this shit to get to where you're going. And do you feel like you had to go through all that to get to here? Or fuck no, you didn't, fuck that, and what have you?
It's like one of those cliche things where it's like, my path is my path, so I had to go through what I had to go through to get here. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, if I had to go back, I would do everything I had to do to make sure I never had to go through what I had to go through to get here. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
But it's like, it's one of those things that, like, I am comfortable with wrestling. Like, I'm not comfortable with life, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I told you I wanted to do this, because I wanted to hang out with you and I wanted to talk with you, but I also wanted to, like, be real about it. Like, we don't get the opportunity to be real about it. I have to show up and I have to do the promo for the show. I have to do, you know what I'm saying, what I have to do for the show. And I have to, like, even as myself, I still have to do that for the show and for the business. And it's just like, and like I've already mentioned everything else that I have to do in life. It's like, dog, when do I get to sit down and talk? You know what I'm saying? Because even like if we do it at the show, like, you know how it is. Like, we talked about it like last night. Like, we're doing a show at a bar. After the show, we still don't really want to even hang out at the bar because we're so tired, we're so exhausted, and even though we're around our friends, it's like, man, I just want to go home. I want to grab something to eat or something like that. So it's like, we have to literally, we're to the point where it's like, to be friends, to like hang out, we have to schedule times to be friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which sucks because, and like, I mean, obviously it's different, but like, it sucks because as kids, it's literally just like, go outside, catch up with your friends, do friend shit all day, you know? But like, as an adult, it's like, I only get to be friends with my friends when life allows it, or I schedule it. And it's fucking weird to me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why, like, that's why I don't want to do WWE. That's why I don't want to do AEW. Like, even AEW has a relaxed schedule, but still, like tomorrow I have to work at night, but I can do whatever I want to in the day with my kids. You know what I'm saying? I can do whatever I want to. I'm sure we'll play a game. I'm sure we'll argue. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, my life isn't all there, but I have all of my wrestling shit together. It's all there. You know what I'm saying? I know where I'm at. I'm like, if a promoter doesn't want to pay me, you know what I'm saying, what I need, then cool. That's great. I don't have to talk shit about them like I did last year. I don't have to do that. I just, cool, that's great. I hope you guys have a great fucking show. I'm going to show up somewhere else and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And at the same time, the wrestling, because you've been watching my matches, I've also tried to change my wrestling to be not wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But like, me wrestling, like and it's a really weird thing to say, but it's like, I'm not trying to go out there and do impact stuff.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to go out there and do the quick spots that you can probably put together a wrestling match. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to, you could probably agent a wrestling match because you've watched a lot of it in the last couple of years. You've watched so much of the same guys that you could probably put together their match.
Probably.
You can't put together my match. You know my moves. You know
Right.
I keep my moves simple, but you can't put together my match because I'm getting waterboarded. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting waterboarded with Pepsi.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting thrown into the wall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like wild shit is happening. Like it's more so just life. It's a fight. Like
Right.
and it's more so because like I told you before the show started, the whole week sucked. I'm releasing everything right now. I'm releasing it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally just getting it all out. So like as long as I don't hurt nobody, as long as I never have to sit there and see somebody like really defenseless and like and it seemed like I didn't care about this person's well-being, my match is my match. It's the art that we were talking about. I'm trying to tell you a story. If you don't get it, you might just not see the art that I have. You know what I'm saying? You might get it in a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just my art right now. And that's where I'm at with it. It's me painting a picture, and however you see it is like if people don't cheer and they don't boo, but I didn't kill nobody and I'm happy with my match, it's a fucking great match.
There you go.
Where to other people are like, man, there was no fan interaction. I'm sorry about that. Like I'm sorry I didn't make you happy. I'm very sorry about that. But like we can't do anything about it now. Like it happened.
Over.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. That's where
That
I'm at
makes
with
sense.
wrestling. That's where I'm at with wrestling.
I like that. I do like that. Well, talking about where you just talked about your match and you say you keep it simple. It kind of reminded me. I sent you a message. It was a few days ago. I can't remember when exactly, but I've been posting a lot of these shorts and TikToks and stuff like that. And it's a content creator, and it helps me learn some things. But one of the things is I forget what it was. It was you did this spot, and it was against one of the, I think it was a match at Lincoln Park in XICW when you were doing the Best of 5 series with Jamie Cox, and you were working his knee, and you just did this thing where you grabbed the rope and wham, fell on his knee. That's all you did, right? Don't take this the wrong way, but that's all you did, right? So in that simple move got 4.5 thousand views off just a simple move like that, where I'm posting guys that are doing these big fucking spots off the top rope, cross body, fucking whatever, and 300.
My most viewed video outside of the video that recirculates every year where I fell off the ladder.
Yeah.
My most viewed video outside of that is the one with Mackenzie, the slap spot.
Right.
In all honesty, and it's a slap. It's literally just a slap, but like, but men don't hit women.
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Mackenzie's a motherfucking badass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was smart enough to edit that shit before she started kicking my ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
she kicked my ass right after that shit. You don't see it. You know what I'm saying? You see me
you're not supposed to.
You see me pull my pants up. You see me adjust myself. Video ends.
Yeah, that's great. That is. I didn't think about it that way.
But I get where you're coming with it, bro. The shorts, like all that kind of shit. Like it's really weird how the world works.
Yeah.
It's really. I put my heart into the whole match. All y'all care about is that 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Where it's like I did something, and Zoe's in the background, like.
Right.
Like the fucking commentary.
You can't hit women.
You're not supposed to do that. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
That's why I picked his ass. I was like, okay, I can't do that. I'll show you what I can do. I'll show you what I can do.
Right. That's some good shit. Yeah. I mean, that's all I really got. Now I want to get more alcohol, and I got to piss. I had to piss really.
No, you're
bad.
good. You're good, bro. I appreciate you. This was fun.
Yeah, it was.
This was the point of it.
And
if anybody watches this on like on a playback or something like that, the whole point of this, if you watch this, if you're live with us and you want to, you know what I'm saying, join in. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be a fan, you could be a wrestler. Let you know what I'm saying? If you don't mind being on camera, let's just talk. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's a hangout.
Yeah, there's a way I
You know
can
what I'm
pull
saying?
you in
Like,
too if you don't want to be here.
Like, this isn't about the show. We're talking about the shows, but this isn't about promoting the next
No,
show.
no,
This
no.
isn't about what this isn't just about the story. It's about just having I want to
talk.
hear what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Like where's your
Let's
mind
be
at?
real.
You know what I'm saying? If you have a kid screaming
There's
in
your
the
segment.
background,
Let's
yeah,
be real.
Yeah, let's be real.
Let's be real.
You know what I'm saying? Raps and raps.
Yeah, raps and raps. All right, well, we're gonna end this. I'm gonna go take a piss, and we're gonna hang out for a little bit longer. But yeah, when we can do another one, we will. It's not one of those things where we're gonna have a set schedule because, like he said, life happens, and we just kind of have to have a day where we all can do things, right? All right, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that wonderful stuff. We're going to get out of here. I would typically go on and on and on about all that wonderful stuff on YouTube, but it don't matter right now. All right, so have a great day and later.
It's going down. This is Rasslin Rage. Do it now. This is Rasslin Rage. This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the